Rumpelstiltskin. Once upon a time, there was a miller who was a great big bragger. He would say his flour was the best in the whole wide world, and that his wife baked the tastiest pies, and that his cat could catch 1,000 mice in a single day. Most of all, he would brag about his daughter, Lisa. One day, a palace servant came to the mill to get flour for the palace. The miller started bragging about his daughter again.
Oh, let me tell you, my daughter is not only the most beautiful girl in the whole country, she is also the most clever. She is so clever that she can turn hay into gold, yes.
The servant, knowing how much his king loved gold, went straight to the palace and told everything that the miller had told him.
Nonsense, the king said. This miller has a big mouth, and I should teach him a lesson not to say such lies ever again. Go get his daughter to the palace, and soon enough we will find out if she can turn hay into gold.
The king's soldiers went to the mill to bring the girl to the palace. Once Lisa arrived at the palace, the king took her to a small room where there was only a spinning wheel, a stool, and some hay.
Your father says you can turn hay into gold, said the king. So, here you go. If you do not turn all this hay into gold by sunrise, I will throw your father in jail to teach him not to lie ever again.
Lisa tried to say something, but the king went out the room fast and locked the door behind him, so she didn't get the chance. How can I turn the hay into gold? Asked Lisa, and desperate as she was, she started crying. No one can do this. No one. I can. And there, right in front of her, there stood the most funny-looking man she had ever seen. He had pointy ears, a red nose, and a long beard. His clothes had a vivid red and green color, and he wore a big hat with a feather on it. You can? Asked Lisa. But how?
Don't be bothered on how. Just tell me what you will give me in return if I turn all this hay into gold.
Anything, whatever you ask for.
What about your beautiful bracelet?
Of course, yes, I will give this to you. And so the funny-looking man hopped on the stool and started spinning the wheel. In a few minutes, all the hay had turned into 100 balls of thread of pure gold.
Now, give me your bracelet,
the man said. Lisa gave her bracelet full of joy and gratitude and thanked him many, many times.
Always at your service,
the strange man said, and disappeared. At dawn, when the king entered the room, He could not believe in his eyes. But instead of thanking the girl and releasing her, he locked her up again. The next morning, he took her in a bigger room. There was a larger pile of hay, and next to it, the spinning wheel.
"Turn this hay into gold until sunset,"
he ordered, and locked the door behind. Lisa started crying. "Oh, whatever will I do now? How can I ever find the nice man that helped me yesterday?"
Here I am.
The funny-looking man appeared out of nowhere. Lisa felt such a relief when she saw him standing in front of her. She did not know what to say.
What will you give me in return if I turn all this hay into gold?
The man said. "Anything, whatever you ask for."
What about your silver ring?
"Of course, yes, you can have it." And so the funny-looking man hopped on the stool and started spinning the wheel. In a few minutes, all the hay had turned into 1,000 balls of thread of pure gold.
Now, give me your ring,
the man said. Lisa gave her ring with all her heart and thanked him many, many times.
Always at your service,
the strange man said, and disappeared again. At sunset, when the king entered the room, he was thrilled. But he loved gold so much that he could not let Lisa return to her home before she would make him the richest king alive. Therefore, he locked her up again, and the next morning took her to the biggest room she had ever seen. The ceiling was high and the room was filled all the way up with hay. On one corner there was the spinning wheel.
"If you turn all this hay into gold by sunset,"
the king said,
"I'll make you my wife. If not, I will lock you up forever."
"If only I could be that lucky for the third time," said Lisa while crying desperately. "The kind man will not be able to find me again."
"Oh, but I did,"
the funny-looking man said.
"What will you give me in return if I turn all this hay into gold and you become the queen?"
"Anything, whatever you will ask for. However, I do not have anything valuable left."
"I am sure I will be able to think of something,"
said the man. He then hopped on the stool and started spinning the wheel with great speed. The hay was so much that the man just wrapped the last golden thread around the last ball right before the sun was setting. There were now tens of thousands of balls of pure golden thread. Lisa could not believe in her eyes and could not thank the man enough.
"And now you will have to give me your firstborn child in return,"
the man said, laughing.
"This will be my reward."
But I'm not even married," Lisa yelled.
Soon you'll be, and I will be waiting for the moment to come."
But Lisa never had the chance of finishing her sentence. The funny-looking man disappeared exactly the moment the king was unlocking the door. He looked around and saw all the gold.
"Incredible! Unbelievable!"
the king shouted.
"Your father was telling the truth, and as I promised, you will be my wife."
In a week's time, at the palace there was the royal wedding. Lisa was so happy that she forgot entirely about the funny-looking man and her promise to him. She did not even remember when she gave birth to her first child. One day, as she was holding her baby in her quarters, the strange man appeared suddenly in front of her.
"I came for my reward,"
he said to her.
"To take your firstborn child."
No, please don't. Take my crown, take all my jewelry, anything in the palace that you desire, but please do not take my child, Lisa begged.
"I knew it! I knew that you would not want to keep your word, but you will, unless you can guess my name."
Your name?
"Yes, my name. Try as many times as you wish, but if in 3 days you have not guessed my name, I will take the child,"
said the man, and disappeared without the queen being able to say anything else. The queen sent her most loyal servant to search the whole kingdom for the most weird and peculiar names. Herself went to the library and searched in all the books about names. She was searching the whole day and night, and when the funny-looking man showed up, she said to him, "Is your name Ferdinand, Balthasar, Isidore, Timothy, Enrique, Horatio?"
"No. Keep trying.
The queen was trying hard, saying names for over an hour, but she could not guess it right. At the end, the strange man disappeared. The next day, Lisa tried to think of all the weird names a man like that could have, and when he showed up, she said, "Is your name Longbeard, Sasquatch, Butterface, Clunky, Featherhat, Bumblefoot?"
No, none of those. Not even close."
laughed the man. And after the queen had tried for almost 2 hours, he said,
"Tomorrow is your last chance. You better find it this time."
and disappeared. The queen was now in complete despair, crying. She did not know what to do when she heard a knock on her door. It was her loyal servant that had just returned from his searching. "My queen," he said, "I went from west to east and south to north. I consulted all the magicians and witches, all the wise men and women, but no one could help me. Tired and desperate as I was, I laid in a forest to rest, and I fell asleep. When I woke up, I saw in between the trees a fire burning. I approached carefully to have a better look, and it was then that I saw this funny-looking man dancing around the fire, singing over and over again the same song.
Tomorrow I'm coming for the child, and you, my queen, cannot deny my reward for all the gold, because you'll never guess it right that Rumpelstiltskin I am called."
The queen sighed in relief. She gave to her loyal servant her golden ring as a reward and thanked him many, many times. The next day, the man appeared at the queen's quarters, holding a basket on his one hand to put the baby in.
Come on now, guess my name finally.
Is your name John, Peter, Jack, Dan, Nico, Raymond?
No, Rumpelstiltskin. You will never be able to guess it.
Is it Peter, George, or perhaps Rumpelstiltskin? The strange man screamed and stamped his foot on the floor in rage.
Cheater! You are a cheater!
He screamed
You tricked me!
and stamped again his foot on the floor in such rage that the floor opened up and swallowed him. And so the funny-looking man disappeared forever, and no one ever saw him again.